So I want to look at the first round. I made some predictions. I want to compare my predictions to the actual outcome. Make a quick assessment on what I think actually went down. Before I do that, please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate that. So what I want to do is I want to look at the least obvious playoff series. Actually, you know what? I'm going to look at the most obvious and work my way to the least obvious, the upsets. So I'll start off with the 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. I had that game going to 5 games. I had Sixers in 5 games. I actually expected a sweep, but I gave the Sixers some wiggle room. Also the Nets, give them a little hope that, maybe they could try and find a win. But I really expected the Sixers, being that the Sixers are a team I got going all the way to the finals, I really expected them to sweep them, and they did that. So that's good for them. They played with confidence, and if they play like that all the time, they should have no problem getting to the finals. They actually have Boston 3-2 right now, so they're looking pretty good in terms of going in that direction. So the next series I'll look at is the Boston Celtics and the Atlanta Hawks. I'd say this is the second most obvious because, who really thought Atlanta would beat the Boston Celtics? They did put up a good fight, taking them to 6 games. I'm not surprised about that. Actually, in my video, I did mention that at best, the Atlanta Hawks would take Boston to 6 games like they actually did. So, that's good. I don't think it says anything about Boston, really. I think it's more the Atlanta Hawks are that team. They're a good team. They're a decent team. So, and they put up a decent fight. I do think they do have a lot of decisions to make in the off season and in the years to come, but they are a team that I really like. I like their roster, but they got a lot of issues they got to work out. I think the addition of Quinn Snyder did help in terms of making them a slightly better team. So we'll see where they go with that. The next series I want to look at is Denver and Minnesota. I got this as the third most obvious. I guess some people would debate that it could be the second most obvious. That's fine. Denver, number 1 seed, Minnesota being the number 8 seed. The thing is with Minnesota is you never know. I mean, they are fully capable of taking a team like Denver to like maybe 6 games. But they too have a lot of issues that they need to sort out. It'll be interesting to see what they do in the offseason. Denver, I also have going to the finals to meet up with the Sixers. So my prediction was Denver in 5 games, and that's the actual outcome. So I was spot on with that. The next one I'll look at is the Lakers and the Grizzlies. So I had what did I have here? I had the Lakers in 7. This actually went to 6 games. There was the trouble with Ja Morant getting injured, and I was kind of iffy. So I really expected the Lakers to win based on experience and the fact that they were getting better and better as the games were going. So I just put Lakers in 7 to be safe because you just never know. Grizzlies had a really good season, and you never know what they would have came up with, but they struggled. I don't think it's even though I did see the Lakers winning the series. I think Grizzlies struggled, and one of the things could be, they're out their center, who brings a lot of defense. Ja Morant's injury, so that could be a big part of it. So we'll see what happens with the Memphis Grizzlies in the offseason. They already got rid of, or they claim to not want Dillon Brooks back on the team, so it'll be interesting to see what direction they go in. But yeah, that one wasn't a tough one. I mean, LeBron, AD, they got experience. They know how to win games. So against a young team who isn't really hasn't really learned the whole skill of winning games or winning a playoff series, they'll get there. They got a lot of time on their hands, so I wouldn't worry about that. The next series, it's getting tough to say which one. Golden State and Sacramento. I called this game to go 7 games. It actually did go 7 games. And this one, this one was pretty obvious, I could say. A lot of people seen this going pretty far, being that these are two teams who are very similar in many ways. And I expected this to be an exciting series, and again, I think this was one of the most exciting series to watch. So I was spot on with that. I actually predicted that this would be one of the most exciting series, and it was in the first round. So I actually got that too. So that's pretty good. So let's look at the last two, and you could say upsets. Let's start with Cleveland and the New York Knicks. I had Cleveland winning in 6 games. New York wins in 5 games. Now, even though I did say in my video I was optimistic, or I was slightly worried about the 1-2 punch of Mitchell and the other point guard there. Sorry, his name always slips my mind. Garland. I really don't like 2 small guards in the backcourt. That bothers me, but I still had Cleveland because everything else just looks so good. I like Okoro. I like their front court of Jarrett and Mobley. And they got a decent bench too. They play good defense. Mitchell goes off every now and then. So I was, even though the season series, the Knicks won 3-1. I think they got 3 games out of the 4 games they played in the regular season. I still went against the grain and took Cleveland. Just because I like the roster. But I realized when it comes down to the play, New York really did a lot of the things that I expected Cleveland to do to them. So it tripped me out. But, I got to give it to New York. Right now, they're actually losing to Miami, which is surprising, being that they had beat Cleveland the way they did. Miami currently has them 3-1. So it's interesting. But, I'll give it to them. They won Cleveland fair and square. And I was totally wrong on that one. I'm pretty sure a lot of people were. So I'm not ashamed of that. So on to the last one. The biggest upset in the first round was the Milwaukee Bucks and Miami Heat series. Now, Giannis did get injured, but I did say that I felt like even without Giannis, I felt the Bucks could give Miami a good playoff series. I was wrong because Giannis sat out for 1 game, and maybe he wasn't 100%, but he did play in the rest of the series, and Miami just flat out beat them. They just flat out beat them, and I could admit I'm a little biased because I didn't like the way Miami looked in the regular season. I mean, hey, they barely made the playoffs. You got to remember they were in the play-in, so. Like I said, this is a big upset. I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who was wrong on the outcome of this series. But hey, Milwaukee, they fired their coach. They got a lot of work to do in the off season and in the future. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Miami, it'll be interesting to see how far they go. They currently, like I said, have the Knicks 3-1. So it looks like they may make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Eastern Conference Finals. So that'd be interesting, because what it looks like it's shaping up to be is the two teams that were in the play-in, the Lakers and Miami Heat, could possibly make it to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, which makes the play-in a lot more relevant. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.